In this video, we'll discuss annual percentage rate, or APR, and use a table to calculate APR. So what is an annual percentage rate? Well, think about a loan situation, such as maybe a car loan, and let's say that the stated rate is 6% per year. All right, so that's supposed to tell you how much interest you'd pay each year that you have that loan. However, when upfront fees are added to a loan and spread over its life, the actual interest rate that's paid is higher than that quoted rate. So this is kind of the fine print that you may have to deal with. So it may say it's a 6% loan, but then you may have some other fees that are associated with that sort of get wrapped in to all of those monthly payments that you make to pay off the loan. So since the rate paid is higher than the quoted rate, maybe you're not actually paying 6%, maybe it's closer to 7%, then lenders are required by law to disclose the APR, which reflects the true interest charged. Right? So many banks and other financial institutions will have charts or bulletin boards or tables that list what their current APR is for different loans. But we can also use a table to estimate the APR if we know what the finance charge is. Now there is another method. You can also use APR calculators that you can find online. So if you ever need to do this and you don't happen to have this exact table that we're about to look at, then you can always figure out the APR on your own. Alright, so here's a table, and this is just a sample one. This would vary from institution to institution, but this would tell you, based on how much interest you're paying, it would give you an estimate of the actual annual percentage rate. So this table gives the finance charge per $100 of amount financed. Alright, so let's choose a random one here. Okay, 5.22. So this is telling us that for every $100 of a loan that someone has, they're paying $5.22 in interest, assuming they're also making 18 payments. All right, so that's a loan for a year and a half with that amount of interest. So you can see we're not actually going to probably land exactly on some of these numbers, but we can use them to just estimate the APR. So here's how we use the table. First, you find the finance charge per $100 using the formula finance charge divided by amount financed times $100. Okay, so this division step, okay, when you divide by the amount financed, right, that's going to tell you the finance charge per dollar, and then you multiply by 100 to find the finance charge per $100. All right, so let's say that you paid $10 in interest. Okay, and let's say that the amount financed, maybe it's a $2,000 loan. All right, well, when you divide 10 by 2,000, that gives 0.005. All right, so basically that means for every dollar of that $2,000 loan, you're paying 0.005 cents in interest. All right, so that's not even a cent. It's like a half a cent. But then times 100, okay, and that would be 0.5. All right, so that would be 50 cents for every $100 borrowed. Okay. Then the next step is to find the row in the table marked with the number of payments for the loan. All right, follow that to the right until you find the amount closest to this number that we found in step 1, and then follow that number up to the top to find the corresponding APR. All right, so let's use this situation, and let's say that this is that number's so low, I don't think we're going to even find it in the table, but let's say that it was 6 payments. Okay, then I would follow this over till I see the closest one, and this is wildly inaccurate, but let's say it was $1.76, that's closest to 50 cents, and then I would follow that up, and the APR would be 6%. Okay, so we'll do an actual example, and this should correspond with the table that we have to use. Buck Carter purchased a color laser printer for $600. He made a down payment of $50 and financed the rest for 2 years with a monthly payment of $24.75. Find the APR. Okay, so our first step is to find the finance charge per $100, and to do that, we need to know what the finance charge is. All right, so we have to find how much interest he paid for this printer. All right, well, to remember to find the interest, one way to do it is to use the percentage rate that we know. All right, so if they had said like 5% simple interest or something like that. But if we don't have that, then consider the other method, and that's to find the difference between what he paid and what the item cost. All right, so we know that the printer cost $600, and let's see if we can figure out the total amount that he paid. Well, we know he paid $50 for a down payment, and then he also paid this monthly payment of $24.75 for 2 years. So he made 24 monthly payments. Okay, that's 2 years, all right, 24 months. And that should tell us the total amount that he paid for the printer. All right, so that adds up to $644. And then if we subtract 600, or the cost of the printer, that means that the extra $44 represents the finance charge. Okay, so now we want to use this finance charge formula to find the finance charge per $100. So we need to divide it by the amount financed and then multiply by 100. Okay, so we have 44, divide by the amount financed, and then times 100. Okay, well, what's the amount financed? Well, we know that the printer cost $600, and he paid 50% $50 right away. So that means that he financed $550, the rest of the amount. Okay, so divide, multiply by 100, and that equals $8. Right, so for every $100 that he paid towards this printer, he's going to pay $8 in interest. So now we're going to take that number back to the APR table. All right, remember that, $8. Then on the left, we find the correct number of payments. So he made 24 payments. And then we want to follow across that row until we get to the number that's closest to $8. And in this example, we actually have $8 exactly. There it is. All right, and then we follow that up to the top, and that tells us that the APR is 7%. 7.5%. Okay. All right, so let's try this again. Darla Connor purchased a Mercury Mariner for $19,900. Her down payment was $3,000. She financed the balance at $623 per month for 30 months. Find the APR. So first let's find the finance charge. All right, so we know she paid $3,000 down, and then the rest of the cost of the car, the balance, she paid off in 30 monthly payments of $623. Okay, so $623 times 30. All right, so she paid $21,690. Okay, now how much of that was the finance charge? Well, we need to subtract away the cost of the car and see what's left. So subtract 19,900, and that tells us that the finance charge is $1,790. Okay, then the next step is to find the finance charge per $100. So we need to divide this finance charge by the amount financed, and then multiply times 100. Okay, so the amount financed, that's the cost of the car minus the down payment, okay, and that would be $16,900. Now this one we need to round, so this is approximately $10.59. Alright, so now we'll take that number back to the chart, and we need to know the number of payments, and that's 30 monthly payments. Okay, so here's 30, and then we want to follow this across until we find the number that's closest to 1059. Alright, so we would be in the middle here, in between 998 and 1066. Alright, so which one do we choose? We choose whichever one is closest to 1059. Alright, so that is a 7-cent difference from the 1066 one. Alright, and then that's a 61-cent difference right between the lower amount. Okay, so we're definitely closer to 1066. So we'll choose that one and then follow that up. And that tells us that the APR is 8%. Okay, so that's how to calculate APR using the table. And again, if you're interested, there are APR calculators online. The reason we don't have a formula in order to calculate these on our own is that the math apparently gets quite complicated. There's a lot that goes into it to sort of spread those fees over the cost or the course of that loan and calculate the APR. Alright, so we'll stick with those two methods. Maybe check your own bank if you're interested, see what the stated APR is, and you can do a comparison, see where you would find that information, if it's easily located on the website, or maybe you need to speak to someone to figure that out. Alright, in the next video we'll start talking about credit cards and a couple different ways that interest is calculated.